Hey, what's going on, everybody? So listen, you guys already know that we're in our My Forex Journey series, where I'm explaining to you guys how I found the financial markets, originally starting out with stocks, and then over time I realized Forex. And in the previous segments, I had explained to you guys how I found the financial markets, how at one point in time I had lost everything, how I met Marv, how even stocks had put a bad taste in my mouth with the company Petro America. I had explained to you guys certain circumstances that I've had dealing with real estate. Like the last video, I had explained it to you guys, and I probably should have added this one to the previous video, but there was you guys know in the last video I had explained to you guys how meeting this woman Sue, that real estate deal didn't work out, and there was a very large potential of profit that was on the back end for myself, for my diligence and persistence with trying to help this woman find a buyer for her property. Well, there was another deal that I had on the table where I was also helping someone sell their property, and this is on the total opposite spectrum. Here I am doing the same thing. There was a condo conversion opportunity with some apartment buildings. They were going to convert them over to condos. At this point in time, that was the thing. Everything was being converted over. And I knew of the opportunity. I've seen it done. I was familiar with it. I was a part of opportunities just as this. So when I heard of this opportunity, I contacted the gentleman, and we worked out a deal. He said, "Listen, you assist me with selling this property. Of course, there's a financial. We actually had a financial agreement where if I assist him, there was, I think I was going to get like $5,000 or something to help him find the property, help him find a buyer for the property." Well, this one, I too shopped it around to a lot of different people, had people coming into town to look at the property. This particular deal was well structured. It wasn't like, okay, my homeboy or my homegirl, they trying to sell this property. It wasn't that deal like with Sue and her husband. It wasn't like that. This one was, everything was set up properly, had a company, and everything was done right. And you're talking about an actual developer that owns the property, so they were trying to sell it. So with this particular property, I brought a lot of people in, and the guy, he and I, we remained friends because he saw how determined I was to find someone. I mean, I was younger, but I was still young. And he said, "Man, like you're really tough, man. You really go after this real serious." And at the end of the day, I didn't find someone to buy the property, although I had people who came in to look at it. But he still cut me a check for $2,000, and I thought that was good because he didn't owe me anything. Truthfully, he didn't owe me anything. We had an agreement only if I sold if I found a buyer that would buy the property. But this guy cut me a check for $2,000, and I met up with him, and I shook his hand. He said, "Listen, man, like you're definitely one of a kind. Like you really go after what it is that you want." I said, "Yeah, I mean this is how I am." So with these circumstances looming, I'm having these thoughts, and I'm like, here it is, one person. I had an opportunity to make a lot of money. It was only spoken, nothing in writing. They were going to get what they wanted. I bought buyers. I had an interested party to purchase the property. They backed out. Here it is over here. I had it in writing. I didn't have the parties that I brought to the table, they didn't ultimately buy the property. Someone else bought it. But this guy still gave me $2,000 for my effort. That showed me, and it taught me such a big lesson. You know, when I combined both experiences, I realized that you have to be thorough, you have to be upfront, you have to be, professional with it, put things in writing. But at the end of the day, you still have to work hard. I worked just as hard as I did with a property for Sue as I did with this property with the guy Kenneth. I worked just as hard. On one end, I had a buyer that was going to purchase the property. I got nothing. But on this side, my buyers didn't commit to it. And I still got something. Keep your business in line. Keep it in check. It will not go unnoticed. And that's why I move the way that I do in business. People may not always agree with everything that you do. They may not believe in, like for instance, trading Forex. People don't believe in everything that I preach. One of the things, like trade without a stop loss. People don't believe in that. They're like, this guy, he's bananas. I mean, he's whack. Don't follow this guy. I know that. But you know what? The business is operating properly, professionally, to the T. You have to move like this because people are always watching. People are taking notice of how you deal with certain situations. I had, many circumstances similar to this to come up, and it's really about how you address it. You deal with people thoroughly. You let them know, hey, listen, this is what it is. This is the policy. We're not going to break it. We're not going to change it. This is just what it is. It's business. And having many experiences, for instance, I had an experience on a real estate side. Had a contractor. She was doing she was first started off doing one, and then I picked up 2 other properties. So she was doing all 3, really 2 at one time. So I had one going on, and I purchased a property across the street. So she was started one, then when I got the other property, she started on that one, and then I found another one. And actually, she was looking at 4 because I found another one that I wholesale, and there was another property that I had acquired before the wholesale deal, but she kind of started on that, just ripped off the front stone, and so she was working on a couple of my properties, and she wasn't up to snuff. And I could tell you guys the situation with that. I had these properties going, and she was coming in, she was gutting all the properties, and the way I found her was pretty interesting. Word of mouth is always powerful. People start talking, oh, listen, you want to deal with her, prices are good, and I thought, her prices are excellent. Like, the profit margin on the back end is crazy. This is good. So dealing with her, I thought that, like they say, everything that's cheap isn't always good, because sometimes the quality is what you're going to get. But that's sometimes. You can't always follow that. Some people, they scale down on the price so that they could have more repeated business. So it's really up in the air where one company may fall. With her, unfortunately, it was the latter. Her prices were low, and her quality of work stinked, and it showed. I was in court because of the way she kept the rear of the homes cluttered with debris, and it was, getting cited it was an unpleasant experience. But we had to address these matters. Like, listen, you need to, bring in the roll-off dumpster. You need to get this stuff out of here. Certain things. But these are all experiences that you go through along the way, along the process. But with her, the reason why I mentioned her was the fact that while I thought her prices, because her prices were lower, there was, looking at the back end, a larger profit margin, there was an experiences with her that was unpleasant. And that was just the fact that she was unprofessional in a way, and a couple ways, and just overall, the overall quality of some of her work, the way she laid her towel, just wasn't up to snuff. And I had to quickly leave her alone. And these are some of the things that when we start talking about real estate, we go down that road. These are some of the things that I'm going to show you guys. But these experiences are experiences that you don't forget. And this is why when I teach my students in Forex, I can tie in different experiences from my experiences in life. See, it's the experiences that will show you. And that's why I tell people, do not give up on trading Forex. If you lose all your money, trade on demo. We need the experiences. It's the experience that help us see what's going on. All right. Without the experiences, you'll be lost. All right. So I'm going to end this video. In the next video, we're going to talk more on the Forex side and how I made certain strides in the market. Certain experiences that I've had and I've had to overcome. We'll talk more on that, and you guys can sort of get an idea, a glimpse of how I thought during these processes, and how I come to put everything together and form the So Darn Easy Forex movement. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.